Good morning to everybody. How's everybody doing? God bless you all on this Monday. I'm a little sleepy. You see that I'm a little swollen from the eyes. The long weekend, Saturday and Sunday. I've been sleeping the whole day. But we're ready. We're ready to go on this beautiful morning, on this beautiful, beautiful day. Good morning to everybody in the East Coast. It's 6:08 right now over here in Tijuana, Mexico. And it's in the East Coast, it's 3 hours more. So it's 9:08 Central Time. It's 8:08. And over here in Texas, over El Paso, it's like 7:08 in the morning. Good morning. God bless you all. God bless you all. Hope that you guys have a beautiful day, a beautiful start of a weekend, and hope that everything is going on well. Well, there's a lot of things going on. I did a video on Saturday on America's Voice on the platform that is America's Voice. Go and download the app. It's americasvoice.com, also amazon.com, and Android iOS. How's everybody doing? I'm Oscar Blue for Border Network News and for America's Voice. Your host today for this show. God bless you all. What is going on? What is going on? And my guest today is Political Avenger, as we're going to talk about a lot of things that is happening across the world in all these riots and manifestations and, and all these things that they're happening across the world. And nobody realizes that is the rising of socialism. Is the rising of socialism. And it needs to be stopped. And it needs to be controlled. And everybody needs to know how socialism now is controlling the masses and how it's moving towards from Europe, South America, Central America, into our country, Mexico, North America. And right now in our country, Mexico, it is amazing how a lot of people are saying it's a war between the cartel and the government, and how incredible it is that the president said, no, I'm not going to detain this guy, because if I detain him, there's going to be more violence. So I intend to let him go. Because if in his campaign, Mexico, I'm talking about the son of Chapo Guzman, Ovidio Guzman, he was detained and he let him go of the killings and the mass shootings that have been happening in Mexico. Now, after that, we know that AMLO in his campaign said that he was not going to detain no cartel heads, and he's not going after cartel heads. He's going after to create the security for the country. That is illogical. So they're creating riots, and now the most amazing thing that I thought that it would never happen, Mexican leaving their cities in numbers of 60 to 100, according to the shelter that I was yesterday. You can find that video on America's Voice. It's a shelter that is called Little Haiti. It's a city for people that were migrating from Haiti in 2013 and 2015. And it's incredible what is happening. For everybody to know, Super Chat is on the top. Says my connection is not suitable. It's unstable. Can somebody tell me if my connection is good so I can continue? If we're good, so I can continue. Yes, I'm good. Okay, we're back. She's going to explain to us what's going on also in South America, Venezuela, Europe, in all these Africa, also in Africa, Nobody gives a damn about Africa. And in Africa, there are, that's the fields for experiments for pharmaceuticals and wars. And in the Middle East, they have been creating these little wars for a long time. And it's just unbelievable. Super chat is on the top for everybody who wants to donate and contribute to my work. Let's call Political Avenger and let's get this done. Let's get this thing started.
Good morning.
PA, good morning. How you doing? You're live. You're live in the Oscar Blue show for Border Network News and America's Voice. How you doing? Thank you so much for being on my show again, like every week. And we're gonna have a huge topic that this is gonna be long, man. I think that this topic and this subject that we're talking about since last week, this is the main topic and the main subject that evolves and talks about everything. And it gets everything into a perspective of what is happening. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
So the topic for today is riots, not only now in Europe or in Africa, but riots in South America, Central America, and North America also, because it's happening in the United States. It's happening also in the United States. So it is amazing. And I'm going to break it down, first of all, with you. It's not being controlled. That's the thing that it worries me. It's not being controlled, and it looks like it's a pattern that everybody's using. Is the same strategy as creating chaos so people can migrate and flee and leave their homes. It's because of poverty, because of the economy, because of violence and insecurity, and because of all these things that the governments, that they're involved in this new world order that is managed by the elite, is creating for people to leave their homes. It is unbelievable. Your thoughts on how all these countries and all these continents are doing exactly the same thing. Your thought.
Well, the ruling class's motto meaning MOTTO. The motto is, and the societies, their motto is order out of chaos, right? So, and this has been since ancient times. You create chaos, get people to get so stressed out, so in panic, so in basically in a depression where they're looking for a savior or they're looking for someone to swoop in, a hero to swoop in and help them. So when there's places that have crime, and this is just this is the name itself, the phrase itself, order out of chaos. It's based on that. The Hegelian dialectic. Create the problem, wait for the people to react, then you provide the solution. It's the way the ruling parties or the ruling powers have always run society and culture. So, it is what it is. It's always happened. This is nothing new. It's been since the beginning of time, since the beginning of when there's governing systems created.
It's a
so
system.
That's what I think about that. Yes, everything starts with chaos. Everything starts with with all this craziness, and then those in power wait for the people to react or wait for whatever response from society to come in and say, well, this is a solution.
So what you're looking at right now that is happening in Europe, and all of this started happening more massively since, the United Nations International Pact of Immigration that, allowed people to migrate freely to continents. And right. now that is absolutely happening in South America and Central America. Now, I'm going to talk about a little bit of what happened, and I've been saying this, of what happened in Mexico, and it shocked you yesterday. Mm-hmm. Our president of Mexico, Andrés Manuel López Obrador, AMLO, in his campaign, he talked about how he was going to control the cartels. Now, every single president that has been in office has every time said that he's never going to have, he's never going to have an arrangement or deal that is a lie with the cartels. Now, AMLO said, I'm not going after the heads. I'm just going to keep the security in the country. Massive shootings happened last week in Culiacán, Sinaloa. It's still happening. It's going to get worse. People, I told you it's going to get worse. And AMLO captured one of the sons of one of the most dangerous men and kingpins that have existed in history in the world regarding cartels. That is El Chapo Guzman. His son was captured in those shootings, Ovidio Guzman. Hours later, he got released by the own government and by directions and instructions from AMLO. AMLO the next morning said that he released him because he wanted to keep the peace in the country. By that, they tell you that the cartels have the control of the security and the insecurity of our country. Not only that, it tells you that these mass shootings that are happening 2 weeks ago after this one happened in Michoacán, that 14 police officers got killed, 9 of them injured, and 21 of them fled the scene. The most incredible thing that one of the most important journalists in Mexico, that is Pedro Ferriz de Con and Loret de Mola, went viral saying, this is a created chaos. Why? Because now you see little caravans of Mexicans moving to the north, PA. And as yesterday, I went to a shelter on Saturday. I went to a shelter and talked to a pastor over there that a shelter is called Little Haiti, that we've been together. And the shelter was packed with non-migrants from Central America and non-migrants from Haiti. It was packed with migrants of Mexico. That is the most depressing thing. That now they're implementing, because of our president, that you have seen him with Maduro, you have seen him in the photos of Pablo, you have seen him, with Cuban president coming into our country for the first time. And you have seen all of this. And now they're implementing the chaos in our country so people can migrate. That's unbelievable. Exactly what is happening in Argentina and in Venezuela. What do you think of that?
Well, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't doubt. I mean, I wouldn't doubt that that's what's happening. It's the same thing. So basically what's happening in Mexico, it's kind of like what's happening in the Middle East, right? Besides the wars, separate the wars. So you have factions. In the Americas, they're called cartels, and but they're economic gangs, basically. Yeah. In the Middle East and Africa, they're called, depending, warlords in Africa and Central and South Africa, and in the Middle East and Northern Africa, they're called terrorist groups, rebels, yes. Whatever. It's these groups doing what they do, trying to control areas, regions, and then the governing bodies, if they're corrupt, because the majority of governments, even in the West, are corrupt. We just have a better way of controlling the corruption so the public doesn't see it outright. We actually allow these things to happen, and sometimes we fund these things to happen. So, it is what it is. This is, like I said, this has been going on since the beginning of time. When the ruling elite the people at the top, the powers, want to remain in power. They have to create situations where, in order to control the population, they have to create situations where they put the population in fear, so they can be the saviors. So they can be the ones with the solutions to the problem, when the majority of the time, they're the ones causing the problem.
Yeah, and absolutely. And I interviewed a couple of immigrants from Nicaragua. Nicaragua is going right now through, a little war. They told me this is a civil war between us and the government. And it's exactly what happened in Venezuela. And in Venezuela, you were telling me yesterday that something happened in another country that I saw in Venezuela, a military tank running over citizens. You know this, that happened months ago, that it looked horrible. Right. And now it happened where, you told me also?
In Barcelona, Catalonia. The Catalonians have been, for the last several years, I think it's like the last 3 to 4 years, they've been trying to secede.
Independence.
From Spain.
Yeah.
They've been trying to become independent from Spain because of the economy. Catalonia had one of the best economies in Europe. That region, that section of where the people live in Catalonia, they had the best economy, and they were the ones propping up the rest of Spain. So they've been trying to become independent from Spain, and the Spaniards have put in brutal laws against this happening, and they arrested most of the leaders of Catalonia, and have done like dictatorship stuff, which the media is not talking about at all. They've done, they become seriously authoritarian against anybody protesting. They have protest laws. You're not allowed to protest. There's laws against protesting. They've arrested most of the Catalonian leadership. They've given the leaders that were arrested, I think, like something ridiculous from like 10 to 15 years for wanting their independence, claiming that it's treasonous and all this stuff. And I saw video footage of protesters in Barcelona being run over by the Spanish police. It's like if you were watching the Middle East, just running people over.
It's unbelievable. It's really unbelievable what we're watching now. It's a lot of people are calling it the end of times. I really don't want to get into that mindset, really. But a lot of people are going into biblical phrases and talking about the Bible and all that stuff. Super chat is on the top for people that want to donate and contribute to our work. God bless everybody. There's a few comments that I want to tell you right here. I will go through several comments. One of them is Last Scott Radio says Mexico is essential to take down America. Paula Jenkins says, say what you want about Mexico and the cartels. Fact is, U.S. Congress members and CIA are backing the cartels. So what does that say about the United States government? And also another comment says, the same thing is happening in France, UK, and Canada.
Right. Well, yeah, you can say whatever in reference to Mexico, but without the corruption of your government, you wouldn't have the cartels.
Exactly.
It has to be a two-sided thing. Yeah, I totally agree. The CIA is always overthrowing countries, always funding rebels, terrorists, cartels, whatever, always doing their thing to destabilize things, but without a corrupted individual or corrupted system, without these corrupted systems, you can't, there's no way for the CIA to get in there and be able to alter anything. Mm-hmm. There's nothing, there's no way for them to fully get what it is that they're trying to do in your country unless you have corruption already in your country. Just like the Middle East. The reasons why these rebel groups and all these other groups get, so much power is because within that country there is corruption. There is corruption in Afghanistan when the warlords are there, doing what they do. When the rebels are there, when Al Qaeda is there, where the Taliban is there is corruption. Whether you want to believe it or not, there is.
Absolutely.
And without that corruption, you can't do. No one can do anything anywhere.
There's a
without. It's like somebody coming. It's like somebody coming to you, a drug dealer or something, coming to you and saying, I'm going to be on your block in front of your house, and I'm going to be selling drugs in front of your house. Now, either one or two things are happening. You're afraid of that drug dealer, and you don't want to get involved, or the drug dealer's paying you off to sit in front of your house. So either way, not doing anything about it because you're afraid and tucking your tail in is just as bad as the corruption. And especially if you're a government official.
Yeah.
You have the power of the army, you have the power of the police, okay? And when you have a whole system that's corrupt, that allows outsiders to manipulate your country or your region or your people.
Yes.
The cartels would have never gotten as big as they got. Let's go back some time here. Let's go back to the 1800s. Okay. Were the cartels running Mexico? The late 1800s? Were the cartels running Mexico in the early 1900s? No, they weren't. The people were. Why were the people in control of their country? Because they had arms. They could defend themselves. And now it's a little bit, it's different. The system is different. The people differently, and they don't have that access like they used to anymore. When you're a law-abiding citizen.
Yes, that is absolutely correct with you. There's a comment right here that says, talking about Catalonia, the communists are attempting to overthrow Spain's government and monarchy.
That's incorrect. From when I started watching the situation in Catalonia, it was that Catalonia was trying to secede from Spain, meaning they wanted their autonomy. They no longer wanted to be part of Spain, and that was due to the economy, because Spain was leaning on Catalonia so their economy wouldn't fall. The rest of Spain their economy was doing bad when Catalonia was doing good. And they were leaning on Catalonia to prop up the rest of Spain. That's what happened, and that's where this whole thing started several years ago. Because I've been watching this for a few years. Can you hold on one more?
What was that?
I'm sorry. There was a call coming in. Sorry about that.
Yeah, and it says she's not agreeing with you. She's saying no, it is correct, and also she's this person saying Catalonia started out about borders and sovereignty, but quickly turned into a communist-controlled and agitators.
No, I don't agree with that. I think Spain did their part of trying to oppress the Catalonians, which they did when they were protesting several years ago. Spain actually is more authoritarian and more of a dictatorship-looking country right now than Catalonia was. Catalonia was just trying to become independent from Spain. So if you're talking about them becoming a communist state, I don't think so. It's the other way around. The Spaniards started becoming very oppressive towards the Catalonians.
Absolutely. For everybody that is watching, how's everybody doing? I'm Oscar Blue. For Border Network News, America's Voice. Our guest today is political adventure as always. She is joining us from still from Vegas. Still from Las Vegas. And she's in Las Vegas right now. Super Chat is on the top for people that want to contribute to our work. We will truly appreciate it. Thank you so much. God bless you. And we're talking about the riots that are happening across the globe and across, every single part. It's incredible what is happening. It is just amazing that every part of the world, this is a continuous thing. It's not stopping. Now, a lot of questions right here. The New World Order, the New World Order, the New World Order. Is it the New World Order? Your opinion on that?
I said this before previously in my channel. We've been under the New World Order for quite some time now. We started entering the New World Order under Bush. We got in further into the New World Order under Obama. We are in the New World Order now. This is the New World Order. The only thing that's, and what I said in the past, the only thing that's left to completely to implement it, or the global governance, is for the change of the economic system, right?
Mm.
And a lot of people are saying, no, we're not. Yes, we are. Okay. We are under the New World Order, or the version of it, because there's different now, because of different factions. And this is, you got to see it as like the cartels, or like gangs, or like tribes. Everyone wants to be on top of the New World Order, or the global governance. The Chinese, the US, the European Union, they're all trying to be a part of the New World, meaning trying to be governing over the New World. Can you hold on 1 second?
Yes.
I'm hearing feedback.
Yes, absolutely. We're talking to Political Avenger. Good morning to everybody. God bless you all. God bless you all that you're watching right here. It's 6:33 in the morning in Tijuana, Mexico. I'm live. I'm Oscar Blue for Border Network News, America's Voice. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm talking to Political Avenger, our guest today, as we're talking about riots that are occurring across the globe. The call dropped. I will call her back right now. And Super Chat is on the top for people that want to donate and contribute to our work. Thank you so much. God bless you all. Let me call Political Avenger right here. I need to call her because other than that, the speaker doesn't get in. Yes, don't worry about it. So you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, so you were talking about the New World Order. We're already under there's a lot of things that we didn't realize, PA. There's a lot of things that we did not realize until now, that social media is really out there, that we have, the masses, we have more reach to get information now than it was before. That's the thing. That's the thing that has helped us to understand how the NWO is implementing a lot of things in our society, in our communities, in our world now. It's just not communities, it's in our world now. And we know now that we have the understanding that the elite and the banks, control every single thing. Now it is now that we're seeing all these riots and happening, like in Venezuela, that is horrible right now, Argentina. I was saying all the countries that they're having problems is Chile, Argentina, Brazil, Paraguay, Nicaragua, Venezuela, Guatemala, Honduras, Salvador, Colombia. It's just amazing that nobody's doing anything about it. That's the thing. That it just amazes you that now it's coming to Mexico. And you see all these manifestations in the United States that on a daily basis, they're happening. And nobody is doing anything about it. What are your thoughts on that?
If you're wanting the government to do something about it, is that what you're saying? They're not going to.
I'm just saying,
they're part of the system. They're not going to change. They're not going to fight the. Okay, so what's happening is, sorry to say to everyone, all governments at this moment are corrupt. There's probably very few government officials anywhere in the world that are not compromised. Okay, this is what the intelligence agencies has done very well. Blackmail. They groom people to go into the governing offices, the government, the local government, the state government, your federal government. They groom most of the people that you see in your area are usually tied to, have been picked by or groomed by, intelligence agencies. I mean, and if they haven't, if they're outsiders that have come in, they fall in line because they understand that, well, I won't say that they understand. The fear of fighting Goliath, most people are not going to do that. There's very few people in this world that are willing to fight Goliath on their own when everybody else is compromised. So that's what's happening. That's why nothing is being done really by any government. Everybody's falling in line. Everybody's taking the money. I mean, when everybody's going ahead and taking the money from the IMF or the central banks, and that's where they get really hooked in, and that's where everything falls apart.
Yeah, there's a comment right here that I want to address, and it's not to blame. I just want to put facts because, people intend in the United States to think that they're perfect. I'm sorry for Americans. I'm sorry, and it's not Americans, it's U.S. citizens because America is a continent. So I can say, I'm a Mexican, and I can say I'm an American because I'm in the continent of America. Let's go back in history, people. Amerigo Vespuccio was the one that put the plans for supposedly Christopher Columbus to discover America. Now, I just want to address a comment right here that says the cartels are in charge of Mexico. Your president is weak. He had specific orders to turn the cartel over. No security. Come on. Now, I just want to talk about Trump. What he's doing in the United States is phenomenal and it's great. But if you want to talk about governments and you want to talk about your country, let's talk about what is happening in California. How weak is your governor? Let's talk about how Antifa controls a lot of sections in your country. Let's talk about the CIA, how the CIA is so corrupt that it is in your country. Let's talk about how weak is your government that I got activists and I got lawyers over here that are practicing law and they're trafficking children into the United States. Let's talk about that.
Right.
Before we start blaming other countries, realize the problem that you guys have inside your country and realize how, it needs to be cleaned up. Every damn country. What is happening in Venezuela is not that the government is weak. It's just, the government is not the one. The government is the one that has the control of what is happening in Venezuela. The government. It's not that the people are weak. It's the government. It's practically that. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of, sometimes people comment, PA, it's Mexicans. It's Mexicans. It's not the Mexicans. It's the government. It's what is happening right now. It's a lot of them that you're saying, and you're correct. The government is the corrupt. Yes, the government is the one that is corrupt. Yes, it is. You're absolutely right. But it's not the people. It's just what is happening right now is the base for everything that is the problems that they're giving to the countries is that all of them are in the same boat.
Yeah.
All of them are in the same boat with the same ideology and the same purpose to run the same currency under the same order. That's the problem, people. It's not that you're weak, I'm this, I'm that. No. Let's get that mindset out of the United States citizens. You guys sometimes you get me so mad because I don't understand why you guys are so pampered. Really. Get your mindset out.
Yeah. I think what the situation, unfortunately, in the United States, the situation with people here is that they don't truly research on how we, and not even not only the United States, okay, how the United States, places like the UK, Britain, places like Germany, France, and many of the European countries, and even other countries. Because remember, 5 eyes. Okay, you got to remember 5 eyes. If you don't know what 5 eyes is,
no,
go look it up. Look it up.
Okay.
Okay. The intelligence agencies, and even Israel, the intelligence agencies go into different countries that are independent, meaning independent from the central banks, and in order to gain control of them, because it comes down to where each government is basically being controlled by the 150 families. Okay, each government, the people within it are so corrupt that they're giving everything to these 150 families because of money, because of power, whatever it may be. Okay? The problem with the U.S. citizens is that we think, for some reason, I don't understand why we think this, but we've seen scandal after scandal after scandal after scandal going all the way back to the 50s, and we still, either we're just not educated, we don't read enough, we don't look into the political past of the U.S., but we have corrupt intelligence agencies, we have corrupt agencies that have been involved in very bad things. And that would include parts of our military. Okay? We are blinded by our patriotism. And I'm sorry to say that that's the truth. We are blinded by our patriotism. We rather act like we didn't do something than admit to what we've done to others. And that's where we are wrong. Our pride and our denial is what's going to ruin. Now, I'm not even going to say it's going to ruin the United States. It's going to ruin the person. It's going to ruin the individual. If you want to talk about, and obviously right now I'm speaking to a largely religious audience. I'm assuming because of how I hear, the topics that you talk about. If you're a person of faith and you can't see the corruption and the wrongdoings of what our country has been involved in over the years, over the last, let's just say 100 years, then there's something wrong with your viewpoint of the world and the viewpoint of the governing body. Okay, the facts are we have been involved in doing shady, horrible things to other countries, other leaders. This is way before they became corrupt, that caused these countries or these regions to turn into what they've turned into. And if we can't admit to that, there's no help for whoever thinks however they think. But the truth of the matter is, let's go to the most recent scandal. Okay, Fast and the Furious. Very simple. It's easier because tribalism. I'm going to talk about the Obama administration because of the tribalism. Fast and the Furious. Fast and the Furious was an actual program that our government ran of running weapons to the cartels. Okay, in secret, running weapons to those Mexicans that are right on the southern border, those people running the weapons down, selling it to the cartels, and then watching it, tracking it, going back into the United States, which many of those weapons ended up killing Border Patrol and others, and people within the United States. So that was a secret program until people actually investigated and found out that it was a program being run by us. So, and it's not Obama did that. No, that's been the history of our government. Running weapons, Iran and Contra. When was Iran and Contra? Who was the president at that time? Oliver North, anyone? Do you recall the hearings, what we were doing? Supposedly one of the nations that's a danger, axis of evil nation, Iran, was receiving what? We were trading in what? And then what were we doing in the Central and South America with the Sandinistas and in Nicaragua and other locations? What was the CIA doing through Miami? Going to Colombia and other places, running what? Drugs? That's not the Mexican government. That's not, the Iranian government. That's the U.S. government. So we, as U.S. citizens or as U.S. residents or as U.S. anything, must accept responsibility for a lot of the shit that's going on. Excuse me, my language. Okay. A lot of the things that are going on around the world. We have to take responsibility. And we can't just brush that aside and put it under the carpet because it's inconvenient to us. Sorry, it doesn't work that way. We are not the angels of the world.
That's the thing that, it is, I think that Americans, United States citizens, need to change the minds. They need to understand what is going on. There's a comment right here that apparently, I like to address comments. It's saying, chill, Oscar, not you're talking about all of us, like all of us are in the same opinion. No, I'm talking about specific people. Sorry if si te quedó el saco, like we say in Mexico, like if the shoe fits, like they say in the United States. I'm not addressing, every United States citizens. Remember, the leader of your nation said this. Mexico is not sending their best. He's not addressing all Mexicans. He's addressing what problematic people are coming irregularly in through his country. So he's not addressing the whole country. I'm not saying about every single American. I'm saying about what are the mentality of a lot of United States citizens that they think that they are angels in the world. No, people. No. There's a lot of programs like Political Avenger is saying right now that they're run by the United States government. And that's just, I don't want to get deep into it, what's happening in El Salvador, Guatemala. And in some of them, there's comments right now that they're saying what's happening in Puerto Rico. And it's let's wake up. That's the thing. You guys need to wake up. That's why, Trump came into office. He's cleaning all this shit up. He's cleaning all of this stuff. And it's taken him a long time to clean it up. But it's because you had 8 years.
Trying.
8
he's
years.
Trying.
Yeah, in time. But you got 8 years of bad government with Obama. 8 years.
And 8 years before that. And I mean, this is going back decades. It's not just Obama. Everybody wants to just blame Obama. You guys are wrong. This goes back, way back before Obama. This is decades old of what we've been doing, overthrowing countries and being involved in other people's foreign affairs. I mean, that's the way it's been. This goes way back. This is not, recent stuff. Everybody likes to blame, the person before because it's easier, but they don't want to go back. I mean, just when I mention Bush, everybody stays quiet. What did Bush do? This whole thing in the Middle East and Africa started under Bush. It didn't start under Obama. It started under Bush, and even further back. You go further back, Bush's father was involved in the CIA. So his best friend was Noriega. Okay, so if we want to get deep, let's talk about Noriega when he was the best friend of Bush. Before Bush decided to go after him for whatever reason, because he was going to run for presidency and take him out. So it's just like in the 80s when Al Qaeda, Al Qaeda visited with us, and we gave them a certain amount of money. I'm sorry, excuse me, not Al Qaeda, the Taliban. Same thing with the Muhajirin, that we funded Osama bin Laden, which was a CIA asset. I mean, we can get back into this over and over again. We want to dismiss this. The guy that supposedly did September 11th worked with us. The guy's father that supposedly did September 11th hired Bush Sr. for the Carlyle Group. So we want to sit here and claim that we're not involved in things, yet the person that supposedly single-handedly took down the United States on the 2001 was working with the president, the father of the current president of the United States at that time. Do you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the father of bin Laden had hired the Bush Sr. to work for his company. So these are things that if you research it, you don't know, and you assume. It's very important to read into things before people assume things. When you watch CNN or Fox News, you're not going to get the truth. You have to actually read books, listen to people, listen to experts, listen to people that were there. These are the things you have to do.
I want to say Super Chat is on the top for people that want to donate and contribute to our work. God bless you all. We're talking to Political Avenger about riots and situations that are happening across the globe right now, that everything looks that is the same pattern and everybody's using the same system. Now, going back to what we were talking about, Lawrence Smith says it's not the U.S., it's the European elite and the Vatican, okay?
No, it's the U.S. I'm sorry. It's the U.S. It's our government. Our government is doing it. So it is the U.S. Again, this is what I'm talking about. You can try and blame somebody else, but who's running this government? Who's in the government at this time? U.S. citizens. Who's running the top part of our military? U.S. citizens. So you can claim the people running things are the Vatican and whoever, but it's the United States government is involved in this whole thing. It's not you're not going to get an easy way out of this. Okay, without the structure, the infrastructure, the money that's being given to whoever, without the people voting for these policies, you wouldn't have the situation that you have.
It's a lot of another comment says, no, the Vatican lady, wake up.
No, sorry. You can blame the Vatican all you want, but if your government, if the United States government wasn't involved in it, the Vatican wouldn't have any power. So you can claim whatever you want. You're totally wrong. Our corrupted officials are allowing money from the Vatican to control us. So you can try to shift and deflect and say the Vatican. No, the United States is corrupt. Period. End of story.
There's another comment right here. It says, Trump, stop funding ISIS. That is huge.
Of course. I mean, and that's another thing. People think ISIS is this creature that developed on its own, and it's not. A lot of people don't even know how ISIS started, or IS, or ISIL. Okay? In Syria, it's a prime example. You have supposedly we were fighting ISIS in Syria, but yet when John McCain met with the rebels, who were we funding? We were funding al-Nusra, which was Al-Qaeda in Iraq, which was ISIL in Iraq, which was ISIS. And then our government officials were like, well, we had to make a deal with the enemy in Syria. So yeah, we're kind of fighting them in Iraq, but we're supporting them because they're going to overthrow Assad in Syria.
Yes, there's a comment right here that says, didn't you say that the Vatican is the one? Where is it? I think I lost you. Didn't you say that the Vatican is the one that wanted the one world order, one world order? Yes, I said that.
They're one of the factions.
Yes, and they want the new world
order. They're one
of
the factions. So you're talking about when I spoke about the Year-Palm plan, the Vatican plan, the EU, and the New American Century. So like I said, there's different factions of the global governance. People want to be on top. Russia wants to be leading the New World Order. China wants to lead the New World Order. The United States wants to lead the New World Order. And Europe wants to lead the EU wants to lead the New World Order. What Trump is doing, he wants to be on top. He wants to be the one governing over the global order. That's why I said you have to look at it as a gang.
Okay,
the gangs are trying to position themselves.
Yeah. I think that you guys don't. There's a lot of people right now. Mauro Garza says, sorry, you're wrong, lady. You're right.
You want.
You're right on sometimes, but the Vatican pulls the strings. Do your research. I believe
post
that you
the links, honey. Post the links. Let's see if what you're saying is true. Post the links. Show me the links.
And also,
so I can break it down and completely dismiss everything that you're saying.
And
post the links.
And also, another Lauren Smith says this woman is not blaming the Rothschilds, the Bleibergs, and the Queen of the and the Vatican. Hold on a minute. Now, this is what I don't like about talking the truth.
Yeah,
when
exactly.
it hits you in the face. Now, hold on, PA. Before 6:56, I gotta hurry up. This is what I don't like when you talk about the truth. Now, you guys expect me on this side of the seat to be acknowledging that we, as Mexican citizens, have been crossing irregularly to the United States and invading some areas of your country, and not admit. I admit to mistakes that Mexico has done and that now is doing. Now, where am I going with this? I'm going with, yes, the elites are involved in everything that is with the banks and the New World Order. Yes, it is. I'm sorry, but it is. You're correct with that. And also the Vatican. Yes, it is. And also the one that it was the number one power that is the United States government. Also, it was involved. Now you got a leader that is cleaning it up. That's why a lot of people follow this president. And that's why, PA follows this president. I follow this president. But you guys think that you're saints. No, you're not. Get it through your head, people. The United States government has been corrupt for a long time. And it's been involved in this for a long time. Don't start blaming only one organization and say the U.S. has been doing anything. If you're that person, this channel, and if you've been following me, I'm not suitable for you. I'm not suitable for you. Go to a channel that is going to say beautiful things about the United States and is going to tell you that the United States has never been involved in no problem, has never done anything, and the United States has never been corrupt, and that this problem right now is only because of the Vatican. It's only because of the Vatican. The hell out of here with that. It's not that. It's all globalist people that they are on every country. On your side is not only Democrats, but there's Republicans that they're corrupt. And there's globalists in the United States of America. And you got the CIA. In our country, you got our president. In Venezuela, you got a dictator. In Africa, you got dictators over there also. In Europe, you got the elite. It's all over. And if you don't like it, if I stop yelling at us, get out. Get out. This is not a conversation for you. Get the hell out. If you cannot handle it. That's the way I talk. That's the way I am. This is a reality check for everybody, people. Reality check. The United States is not a saint. It's not a saint. No, it's not. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to tell you. You guys are not a saint. And I'm not talking about United States citizens. The government. It's corrupt. That's why you got a president that is cleaning it up. Accept it. Or don't. And if you're not accepting it, get out. And go stay on your TV and watch CNN, watch Fox, watch MSNBC, watch, your beautiful programs that tell you all these things that you want to hear. All these beautiful things that you want to hear. Oh yeah, they're the Mueller report. Oh yeah, that's a lie. Let me change it to Fox now because Fox is saying what I want to. Oh, that's what I want to hear. Oh no, Fox is wrong, PA. I want to change it to MSNBC now. No, I want to hear that.
Yeah, it's okay. Like there's certain people that you can reach. There's certain people you can't. There's nothing you can do about that until it hits them in the face. Like when they start seeing everything in front of their face in the community, and in front of when it gets really bad, which in the United States we're seeing it. It's being shown to us how corrupt our system is. When it gets, I guess it has to come to their front door where they actually see their local officials, the corruption of their local officials. Until that point, those people will not. They'll continue, thinking how they're going to think, and that's fine. Don't even, let's talk about what's really going on with the world economy with the new protests that started within the last 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go back to what's the economic issue that we're facing.
To close the subject for everybody.
Yeah.
We were talking about that. Sorry if I get a little bit intense. That's the way I am. That's the way I am. I'm sorry. All my broadcasts are like that. For people, probably this is a new viewer. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. Probably if I apologize if I yell. I'm not yelling. That's the way I talk, people. I'm passionate about what I say. And you get sucked in. If you've been talking about this thing every day, in and out, in and out, in and out. You get sucked into that, and you got to give out information like this and straight in your face, because if not, I'm lying to you. And you want to hear whatever you want to hear. You want My Little Ponies, and you want little hearts and angels. It's not that. It's not that. So, to close the pro, I'm 7:02. Man, I'm late. PA, I'm sorry.
I know.
I'm sorry.
I understand. Trust me.
We are going to talk about tomorrow again about this, to go more specific on what is happening on particular regions. Now, to close the topic, PA, how do you think that it's going to be controlled? Because there's a lot of riots that they're happening right now in all parts of the world,
Right.
Is it going to be controlled or not? Because the only people that the only I don't think human beings are citizens, normal citizens, are the ones that they can control this. The people are the ones they can control this, because other than that, every government from every country that has been involved in these riots are the ones that they're creating it.
Yeah, honestly, I believe we're too far gone for the economy itself, meaning to try and rein it in. That's not going to happen. The new system is going to come in. The economies are going to collapse. Now, the controlled collapse of it, that can happen, controlling the collapse of it. But when you have the central banks and the IMF providing loans to each country, in exchange, they have to implement austerity measures, which is why everything is erupting, like Lebanon and Chile and Ecuador and Argentina and all these places, South Africa. You have to give up the benefits, and you're starting to see it now in the media here, where pensions. I believe the pensions right now, they're going after the pensions. The companies themselves are going after the pensions. So if any of you have any pensions, your pensions are right now in serious jeopardy. In serious jeopardy. The next thing is the pensions. I think that we might have bank holidays in the next 2 years. So what I want to say is, okay, we can't control this what's coming. We can't. There's no possible way that we can control especially when every country is giving stimulus programs to try and save their economy. We're printing money out of thin air, and there's nothing to back it. There's nothing to back it. Okay? If you look at the U.S. debt clock, the total U.S. debt, the total, not the nation, not the national debt, the total U.S. debt is $74 trillion. I repeat, the total U.S. debt is $74 trillion.
Wow.
There is no possible way. There is no possible way that we're going to be able to pay that back. No way. So what they're going to go after is your disability, your Social Security. The corporations are going to go after your pensions, and the banks are going to start bailing in banks. If when it comes time for the economy to collapse, they're going to bail in the banks or bail out the banks like they did in 2007. A bail-in is that they take your money and they pay the banks first, and then you're out of your money. So that's what's going to happen. But you can prepare now for what's coming in the year or two by, let's say, if you can't afford silver or gold or any of these things that have been mentioned before, you can prepare by having food and water stocked up for at least 6 months to a year. You can buy all this stuff at the dollar store. If you prepare with food and water, the essentials, for, like, let's say a 1933 situation worldwide, those people that prepared, you're not going to have a problem. You're just going to have to change your your habits, your spending habits. That's all you got to do.
It's going to change a lot. I want to thank you for this show, for coming in the show, PA. Thank you so much. We like to say to people where to follow you, your pages, where to follow you again, so people can follow you and research you more of what you stand and what your beliefs are.
Okay, so you can just go to YouTube, Political Avenger. You can go to my Twitter at Political Avenger. Same thing on Minds.com, Gab. Facebook, I have two pages, Political Avengers News.com, and then I have Political Avenger Technology News. And that's something we need to talk about too, the technology that's coming in. So that would be a good topic to address in the next show.
Okay, let's talk about that. MRS Redbagger just donated. Thank you so much from Scout and me. Love you. We love you too. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, PA, for being on the show. We will talk tomorrow. God bless you.
Just take it easy.
That's the way I am. You already know me. Know me.
No, I understand. But like I said, there's some people that you can't get through, and that's fine. But the people that understand what we're talking about, they just need to prepare, and they'll be fine. I mean, they'll be able to handle what's coming.
Send you a big hug. All right, we'll talk tomorrow.
All right, bye.
That was an intense program. How's everybody doing? I got a couple of minutes before I go. I gotta go. God bless you all to watching this program. We're talking about riots and how it turned into talking about the U.S. government. Now, this is. Let me just put it into perspective so people can understand what we were talking about and what we were saying. Mr. Donald Trump is practically just the savior of your country. And not only that, he's implementing the mindset of what every country needs to do. That's why I follow him. That's why I admire that man. And that's why I respect that man. He has this. Cojones. Nobody else has it. He came into office and he said, the hell out of here. I'm going to clean the whole room up. BSB, thanks so much. God bless you. I'm going to clean the whole room up. I don't care. Who are you? What you've been doing and what you are and what you stand for. I'm going to clean this up. Clean this shit up. All of it. Sorry. I'm going to clean it up. And before that, don't tell me that Mr. Donald Trump is going to clean everything in 3 years. What happened with the Clintons, with the Bush, with the Obamas? Every single one of them has been corrupt as hell. And every single one of them has been agreeing with the Vatican, with the European elite, and they've been infiltrated in every single government. They've been corrupt, agreeing with the New World Order. Go back to Bush Sr. and see who is the one that started with the mindset of the New World Order. Declarations from Hillary Clinton, from Bill Clinton. Declarations from Obama. Do you think that is going to be cleaned up in just 1 year, 2 years? There's a lot of work to do. And the first thing that we have to do, you as citizens of the United States, me as a Mexican citizen, and people that they have the same problem, the first thing that we have to do, people, is acknowledge, understand, swallow our pride, and admit that we have a problem and acknowledge and admit that our government has been corrupt. Not my government is best than yours. Yours is a piece of crap. It's not about blaming who and who and who. It's about cleaning this up, cleaning the house. A lot of organizations are in charge of pulling this. And like we have said, they're fighting right now on who is going to be the top, the head, the embodiment. If it's going to be China, Russia, the United States. Trump is trying to put, like every single day of his life, trying to put the United States on top of everything. That's what he's trying to do. You can't do anything in our government, people. In our country is done. Our country, Mexico, it depends on the citizens and Mexicans. It depends on citizens and Mexicans that we clean this up, that we stop this. If the Mexican people don't do anything, you guys already seen it. The cartels run the country. Our government is corrupt. It depends that we need a Trump in our country. Hong Kong needs a Trump. Europe wants a Trump. South America wants a Trump. Chile wants a Trump. Everybody wants a Trump. But we need to accept, first of all, that we are wrong, that we have a problem, and that it needs to be moved forward from it. How can we fix it? How can we fix it? And how can we start fixing it? And the solution, not only for the United States, but for the world, people, is the president of the United States and fixing it. He's doing it over his country. He's trying to fix his country, but he's trying to, by doing it, he's opening a lot of people's eyes, mine, a lot of citizens. And Trump, it is doing that. But first, for us to move forward and support Trump and support all the people that are fighting this, we need to accept that we have problems. I'm not going to lie to you, like I have told you, like I have told you before. I remember the first time that I heard Trump saying, Mexico's not sending their best. They got pedophiles, we got gang members, we got drugs coming in through our border. And when he said that, every Mexican took it as an insult. He's not saying every Mexican that is coming through our country is the worst. No. He's saying they're not coming, the best people are not coming in. We need to watch it. So he is not referring to all of us. He's referring to the bad people that are coming. That is exactly right how what is happening in your country. A lot of people in the politics and in the office are corrupt. They're not the best. That's why he's trying to make America great. Eliminate all that crap and put the right people in there. The right solutions. So sometimes the truth hurts, but it's just what it is. And we need to take it and realize that we have a problem and we need to fix it. It's not blaming, it's not getting into your feelings. It's realizing that we have a problem and we need to fix it. You guys have a problem with organizations, radicals, socialists, and you got a problem, a big problem in California. Huge problem in California. 10th city economy is just run by Democrats in California, and it's horrible. Fix it. Realize, yes, there's corruption. Our government is wrong, and Trump is trying to fix it. I got a problem over here with immigration, corruption, cartels. We need to fix it. Europe has a problem with the Vatican and the elite. They need to fix it. Every single thing has a problem. United Nations run by Soros. We need to fix it together. But first off, we need to realize that we have a problem. If we don't realize that we have a problem, then our mindset is we are okay. We can become communists. We can become socialists. That is the number one thing. Together. Don't take it into your perspective and into your feelings. Don't get pampered. Listen and understand. Listen and understand that there are problems bigger than what we got. So God bless you all. For everybody, I need to leave. God bless you all. Stay safe, everybody. We will talk later on. Today, probably I'll do a live feed in a particular shelter later on. Follow America's Voice. Probably I'll do a live feed with America's Voice. Let's fight together. Let's stay together, and let's fight this socialism and communism together. Let's fight it together. Thank you so much. God bless you all. Stay safe, and always remember peace and love, because always your country is first.